Mass Effect teased again with a new poster. Okay, this looks cool. Okay, I see something there. I see four things in this crater. Hmm. I don't know what Mass Effect 4 is gonna really, like, how it's gonna continue from 3. Gonna be interesting to see, nevertheless, and I do hope the game's good, but I still have to play the first 3. Yeah, I'll have to find some time for that eventually. But so, anyway, hey guys. It's pretty interesting to see Mass Effect getting some more teaser stuff. I guess the Legendary Edition did well enough, and Bioware's not quite getting shut down yet. We'll see if Mass Effect 4 ends up breaking the series and company, or a group of developers, or maybe it'll revitalize it. Who knows? But so yeah, now that I'm done with this, let's move on to some other news, shall we? So as you saw from that Mass Effect teaser, we got some interesting news coming up. And I want to start off with that because I am a pretty big fan of Mass Effect, even though I haven't quite finished all the games and whatnot. But I think it's pretty interesting to see that BioWare's still at least kicking, still alive, kind of. At the very least, it seems like they're doing okay for now until EA inevitably shuts them down like all their other studios. But let's not think about the bad stuff, and let's move on to the next set of news. So next, I want to talk about Netflix games. Released November the 2nd. If you have a phone and you can play mobile games, you'll have 5 games to your disposal: Stranger Things 1984, Stranger Things 3 the game, Shooting Hoops, Card Blast, and Teeter Up. I'm not entirely surprised by some of the games like Stranger Things 1984 and 3, but I'm kind of surprised by Shooting Hoops, Card Blast, and Teeter Up. I'm not sure exactly if these were the developers that were taken in by Netflix. I think they were. I know they took in Oxenfree, those developers, but yeah, kind of interesting to see. So if you do have a Netflix account and you do have a mobile phone that is capable of running games, yeah, you already have access to the games. It's available on Android everywhere. Everybody can play, and every profile can play the games. If you have a pin, you can set that up for kids so that they don't play it. Certain games, at least. You could play it offline, and so yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how Netflix has now moved to what Google Stadia and Amazon Luna have been trying to do. And so I think this is interesting, just to say, nevertheless. But I'm not entirely sure, how many more games are they able to get. Will this be successful? And will they have game tie-ins like Stranger Things games, maybe like Bandersnatch, Black Mirror, if they'll have that in the game section too? And will it just be for mobile, or will they move into something like, like on a computer, maybe on the TV? I'm kind of interested to see where this is going, but I'm not entirely sure how they'll achieve some of these things. But it'll be interesting to see, nevertheless. So, up next, to talk about Blizzard Activision again, the Blizzard co-leader Jen O'Neill, I think that's how you pronounce her name, says she's stepping down, leaving Mike Ybarra, I hope I'm saying your name right, as the sole head of the company. Very short run. O'Neill and Ybarra took over Blizzard Activision leadership in August following the departure of J. Allen Brack, basically leaving in the wake of the sexual discrimination and misconduct lawsuit. She's leaving to dive deeper into the admirable causes of Women in Games International, a nonprofit devoted to equality and diversity in gaming, and that Activision Blizzard is giving a $1 million grant to the organization. The news means that in the wake of the widespread reckoning over how its culture mistreated women, Blizzard has gone from having male-female co-leaders to a single male boss. And yeah, let's just say that this just keeps looking worse and worse, except for that one hitch that maybe the lawsuit might get dismissed because of a conflict of interest, but yeah, basically just to put this lightly, it's not looking good. And I'm not entirely sure if Activision Blizzard will be able to get out of this. Depending on how well Vanguard sells, they might just be fine, and I'd be a little bit pissed, but yeah, just a quick update. Oh, and just one more thing to shit on about Activision Blizzard. They say that Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 have been delayed, largely due to changes in leadership, and yeah, basically, Overwatch 2 was literally only announced so that everybody could stop talking about the whole Blitzchung controversy that was happening around the time Overwatch 2 was announced. I'm just calling it. It's not a conspiracy if it's right. All I'm saying. Diablo 4, that one I think was going to be announced anyway. I don't remember exactly when it was announced, but it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't during the Blitzchung controversy. I think it was after. But yeah, basically, Overwatch 2 was literally just to stop a controversy. Diablo 4 because money, and so yeah, it's nothing too interesting, but nevertheless, I do want to talk about it. So next up, I want to talk about Take-Two and 2K canceling a new game from Hangar 13. The codename for the game was Volt, and has been in development in various forms since 2017. And supposedly the project cost 53 million, and yeah, it's pretty bad to say that at the very least. However, oh yeah, that reminds me. One other thing. They learned about today's game cancellation from an email, but some people found out through reading the article from Jason Schreier, and whoo, that must be awful to hear. But I do want to move up next to Hangar 13 management told staff in a meeting this morning that there would not be layoffs following the cancellation of the big game project, and yeah, basically, it's kind of big to see a game that got $50 million and not come out with anything. It's kind of similar to what happened to Scalebound, which was like 95% done production. And so I wonder if, since they canceled the game, are they just going to completely scrap everything? I don't think so, right? With that many assets, that much time put into the game, there's got to be something you can salvage. And so while it might be a $53 million, money sink, it could still be useful in some ways. So it'll be interesting to see if anything from the Project Volt is going to be used in other games. Not sure, but yeah, I really hope that nobody does get, fired for this, because games are hard to make. It's just that simple, honestly. But so, life goes on. For upcoming interesting games, Elden Ring finally got a gameplay preview, and the pre-orders came out for at least the collector's edition. I know somebody that got the collector's edition. Wallets are crying for respite, but yeah, so Elden Ring got a gameplay trailer. There's a few things about like how there's 5 classes at least previewed so far. So yeah, really interesting to see, and I do hope Elden Ring does good, because I mean the company's pretty good, at least from what I know, and I hope the game does well. So next, I want to talk about NFT games, or blockchain gaming. Basically, if you don't know exactly what blockchain is, it's just basically like just a whole bunch of systems verifying that somebody has like ownership of something, right? So like Bitcoin, there's a ton of blockchains to just confirm that you do own that Bitcoin, or whoever owns the wallet owns the Bitcoin, so on and so forth. And yeah, let's just say that blockchain gaming would just be bad, because the environmental impact and the fact that essentially just owning like a thing, it doesn't quite make sense, right? Because we already have a system, and you don't need to blockchain that. We already have servers, like Valve has skin servers and whatnot. So I think it achieves something that we already have, but just for a lot worse environmental reasons. But so then, why am I talking about it? Well, oops. Basically, the House has passed an infrastructure bill with a deadly crypto tax clause. Basically, the House voted with 218 ayes on Friday, amending the definition of cash to include all digital assets for Section 6050I of the U.S. tax code. This is reporting requirement for any transactions over 10K to require recipient to verify the sender's personal information, SSN, etc., and report this to the government within 15 days. And it's a felony violation with jail time, so basically, if you don't disclose it, it's going to be bad for you. And just for further context, HR 3684 infrastructure bill was passed, and it covers digital assets. So, yeah, basically, if you own NFTs or any cryptocurrencies, yeah, let's just say it could get really nasty really quickly. All I'm saying, if you don't report it and whatnot. And so, yeah, I just don't know if blockchain gaming, not only I don't think it's viable, just because, like, what it exactly is and, like, how they would try to implement it. I don't think there's any way you could, at least in a fun and good way. But also the fact that now that digital currencies are being covered in the infrastructure bill, I just don't see a future for this. And just NFTs in general, I don't think there's a future for it at all. But so, let me know what you think, because this is something really interesting, and I'm not sure exactly if I'm not seeing everything, because I know I'm probably missing something, but from what I can see, I think it's just just like a net positive. But tell me what y'all think in the comments if you have an opinion about this or know anything more that I'm not aware of. So for anybody that forgot about Animal Crossing New Horizons, there's a big new update and DLC. So if you have if you want a reason to get back to the island, this is your big chance now. And so yeah, have some fun. I might get back to it eventually, but for now, I've got other things to worry about. So, that's the end of this week's news. So, there's a few particularly interesting things like Netflix games, the Elden Ring game preview, and things like that. And I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in the future, but I'm not entirely sure what's going to hold. Hopefully only good things, but hearing things like the 2K Take-Two game that basically had $53 million sunk into it and then kind of just fell apart, it's not great news, but I do hope something good from that. Something good comes from that. And so, yeah. Whatever the future holds, I'll be here to report it to you. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week. Hopefully with only good news.